What's going on, guys? This is Richie here from Red Planet Films, bringing you my review of The Jungle Book, directed by Jon Favreau, and it is adapted from the 1962 or 1964, I forget which year it was, somewhere around that those 2 years, Disney film, the animated film, and also the book, if you weren't aware that it was a book, indeed. This movie, though, seems to stray more towards the book rather than the animated Disney film. However, there are a couple of elements from the animated film in this movie, but it seems to go more towards the route of the book, and I kind of appreciated that more, although, I am familiar with the Disney animated film, even though I haven't seen it. I know, don't, you know, don't flip out on me or anything, but there's a lot of Disney animated movies that I haven't seen. The string of recent live action adaptations, however, seem to have been catching my interest as of late. We've had Cinderella, we've had Maleficent, and The Jungle Book is one of the more recent incarnations of these live adaptation films. And I'm very interested in seeing them because you're just seeing these animated films kind of being brought to life and seeing how stylized they are and the visuals and all that stuff is very interesting. And this movie is just that. It's very visually pleasing to the eyes. It's eye candy galore. And mind you, this movie, although it'll have you fooled when you see it, was not filmed on any actual locations, like any jungles or any of that sort. This is all filmed in a movie studio in Los Angeles with sets built, green screen all around, and some of these scenes and shots that are in this film are very photorealistic, and I haven't seen CG this great since maybe Avatar back in 2009. That's really the one film that I can think of where I was just in awe at how well the CG was done. It was just really well done. Like I said, very pleasing to the eye just to see. Although my only gripe with the movie in some points was that you can tell that there was green screen in the background, and some of the light wasn't as artificial as it would be if you were standing outside using natural lighting. And some of the animals looked a little bit better than others, more so like the main characters. Like you had Bill Murray's character as Blue, looked great. Ben Kingsley as Bagheera, he did phenomenal, and that Black Panther looked beautiful. We had Idris Elba as Shere Khan, or as I said in the movie theater to my good friend that I went with, Shao Kahn, or I just said Khan from Star Trek. He was incredible. I kept thinking of Lion King, though. I kept thinking of Scar. I'm not the only one who thought this. I watched the Flick Picks review, John Flickster. He also said the same thing as I did, and it was kind of funny, though. So we had Scarlett Johansson as Kaa. It was very small, her role. The snake wasn't even. It looked gorgeous, though. Again, a lot of all of these main characters and stuff, all the iconic ones from the book and the animated Disney film, were all obviously a huge part in this movie, and they were the ones who really had the most emphasis in terms of CG and all that good stuff. It was very, very, very well done. And the lead is Mowgli. He did phenomenal. Essentially, he had to carry the whole movie because he's really the only live action aspect in this movie. He's interacting with quite possibly what is people in green screen CG suits, or just like a tennis ball and stuff like that. If you watch any behind the scenes stuff of other movies that use a lot of CG implemented in their film, that's really mostly what they work off of. It's just like being a kid again, playing, with your imaginary best friends or pretending that somebody's there. It's essentially the same thing. So that's what these actors and everything have to do. So this kid, he's probably no more than 10, 12 years old, maybe, perhaps, and he did a phenomenal job. I was very impressed with him. He was very charismatic, very funny. He fit the role. I don't think they could have, honestly, the whole casting in this movie was very well done. And if you really think about it, just stand back and just think about it for a second. The casting was so perfect. I don't think I can really picture anyone else in those roles of all the characters in the film. So kudos to whoever was in the casting department because they did a phenomenal job. Jon Favreau, who's the director of Iron Man, and another little movie that you might have heard of back in 2003 starring Will Ferrell called Elf. He did a great job. I smell Oscars all over this film. And I was saying that to my friend. I'm like, I don't even see animals on the screen. I just see Oscars. Because this movie is definitely going to be a huge Oscar contender, if visuals and all that good stuff. Again, I don't really quite know what I was expecting going into this movie, though, but I left completely in awe, blown away by the visuals. The story, you know, we would all know the story of the Jungle Book, and it was very well done. It was adapted very well. I really enjoyed it. Honestly, I can't really quite give this movie any more praise than what I already have, because it was just very well done. The characters were good. There were a couple of tear-jerking moments, but I didn't cry because I'm a man, and men don't cry. Moving on to one of my favorite characters, though, was definitely Idris Elba's character. He played that role to perfection. He was a very evil, cunning villain, and at points it was just like, oh my god, like, this dude is such an a-hole, like, I can't wait till he gets his. Another kind of surprise that I didn't even know was Christopher Walken, just voicing over that giant, huge monkey. I had no idea that was him, and it took me a while to figure out. I'm like, wait, who is that? And what is it? And I didn't get it until my friend told me. She's like, oh, that sounds like Christopher Walken. And I listened to it, and I'm like, oh my god, you're right, that is. It was so out of left field, honestly, but it was pretty cool. Again, goes back to what I said a little bit earlier, that the casting was very well done, and I really enjoyed this film. I don't want to give anything away. I mean, even though if you've seen the original animated Disney film, or have read the book, or have done both, you'll already obviously know, like, what happens and stuff like that. But I definitely recommend that you go and see this movie, because it is absolutely beautiful to look at. I wouldn't mind seeing it again. The pacing is very well done. It went by quick. It was an hour and 45 minutes, although it felt a lot shorter, just because I was having a lot of fun with it and everything like that. So, again, can't say anything else more about this movie, because I really enjoyed it. I highly suggest you go out of your way and see it, because it's very well done. It's very fun. And there's not a lot of singing. I thought that there was going to be a lot more singing, but it's very brief, and I was very happy about that, because musicals can sometimes, or just movies that implement singing, can drive me a little nuts, and, you know, it didn't take anything away from me. So overall, I give this movie a solid A. I highly recommend it. And if you guys have seen it, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that thumbs up button. Let's go for maybe 5-10 likes or something like that. And most importantly, subscribe so you know when we upload a new review, or movie talk, horror talk, Blu-ray, unboxing. And we also have our own fan film coming out very soon. It's still in the process of being filmed, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I can't quite give it away what it is just yet, but very soon, I promise. So anyways, that's pretty much it, and I will see you all in the next video.